Hey there. I want to take a moment to introduce as to what we are going to learn as part of this Device Drivers 101 course. And this is, well, the Linux device drivers. This is supposed to be a D. Yeah. So Linux device drivers. What are we going to take a look at? First off, who this course is for? Students, early professionals, and anyone who is kind of looking forward to switch to device driver development, right? So this course is intentionally made for such folks, and we will only be covering the basics that you need to write a device driver, right? So absolute basics. And we'll also introduce, like, what Linux kernel is, what device driver means, how it is useful, so on and so forth. Now, in terms of the tangible thing that you'll be introduced to, um, or you'll end up kind of authoring, would be these three files, and about, like, the 4 to 5 lines of code here, 5 lines of code here, and maybe ballpark 60 to 100 lines of code in the C file. Now the C file will be the actual driver code, and the make file would be used to kind of compile that, and the Python file would be an application. Right, so this is the device driver, this is the app. So what's the relation between app and the device driver? So we have the Linux kernel, which kind of has many device drivers within it, and one of them would be ours, right? And this is what we will author. But the user applications run at lower privilege, and that is where the Python file will be executed. So the Python file will serve as a user application, and what will happen is it will request the driver for some information, and the driver will essentially pass back that information, right? And in this kind of a mini project like way, we'll end up learning what device drivers are, and how to write those, and understand, like, the background and the mental models in terms of how the Linux kernel works, how the driver has to work, and how to add functionality, right? So this being the case, let me just go ahead and quickly show you a demo of what things will look like, and let me go ahead and increase. Hmm, very nice. So what you see on the screen here is, let me just, yeah. So this here is essentially the code, and the code to what? This is the user application. This is the make file, which is like 7 lines of code or something. And then there's this device driver, which is about, well, 60 lines of code, right? So then let's go ahead and take a look at this Python file here, the user application. It simply kind of, opens a file, reads a file, reads some message, some reads like a line out of it, and closes the file. So three simple operations. Let me go ahead and do make. This is like building the device driver, and then let me do sudo insmod, sudo insmod dot ko, and then let me go ahead and kind of execute the app, and the app is user space app. And so what you'll notice here is it's simply going to count the number of times the call to the driver was made, or the driver was activated, essentially, right? So let's then go ahead and execute this couple times, and what you see here is with every call or execution, this number is increasing. So this somewhere is that mini project, or project based approach, wherein we'll go ahead, write a device driver, and then write a user app to interact with the device driver. And along the way, we'll learn how to write a device driver, what are the basics, how to inject it into the kernel, how the kernel absorbs it, how the interactions go, and all of that good stuff. At the end of this course, Our hope is that you'll be enabled to understand the language of Linux device drivers, the vocabulary associated with it. To some degree, of course, it's like a vast subject, but you will be able to make sense of what device driver related jobs are, what they require, and how to self navigate in the future. So, with all of this, if this excites you, I'll see you on the other side.